Hey there, honey bunnies. Welcome to episode 147 of your Sovereign Storytellers podcast with your host, Michelle Wolf. And today's episode is It's Not You, It's Them. This is coming out of I went to a mediumship gallery reading. A gallery reading, if you don't know, is like a group. And the medium brings through people and you may or may not get a reading. So I love going to those, and I often get a reading because I'm a medium too, and I am there for it. I know there's certain people I may want to show up, but I know my dad's always going to show up if he gets half a chance. Um, so the reason I bring that up is some information came out of that reading that I want to talk to you about, but I also wanted to let you know this woman's name. Her name is Melissa Pharr, Pharr, mediumshipwithmel.com, mediumshipwithmel on Instagram. I couldn't, her face was driving me nuts. I don't remember how I found her recently, but it was driving me nuts. She looked so familiar. Her name was familiar. And I finally remembered that she used to be a coach, and I was on her mailing list for I don't even know how long, but it was a while ago, like 2017. So she's not a coach anymore. She's now a medium, and she's quite good. She brought through enormous amounts of evidence. My father and my childhood father figure, who I called at the time Daddy George. It was Mama Betty and Daddy George. It was my maternal aunt and her husband, my uncle. And I lived with them in like a kinship foster care for a couple of years, but also in and out earlier in childhood. Anyway, I would consider him a father. And so both of them came through Melissa, which I I was really surprised by, and it didn't catch me off guard exactly, and it was kind of nice that they both came through together. But the reason you should go to things like that is the dead are there to give us information for the problems that we're dealing with. This is why I can get so fired up about being really brutally stripped away and pushed away from connection to our ancestors, from actual direct relationship with the people who've crossed over. And I've struggled with having a business now in my 9th year. Still would not, it still does not support by itself all the financial needs. So I do other freelance work and whatnot to fill in the gaps, which is fine. I am fine with that. I don't want to pressure my business anymore because it just makes it, when I don't pressure it, I do a whole lot better financially and just job satisfaction when I don't pressure it. But I have wondered why. I have a chart. I don't think charts are, I do still think we have free will in how we live them. But I have a chart that human design and astrology, that really, looking at it, I don't see how I could ever have not been some kind of healer or helper. When I've tried to take other jobs or go different career paths, I've never been able to stay away from it very long. I won't go into the huge details, but just quickly, I have a Virgo stellium in the 8th house and a Scorpio stellium in the 10th house of career in my midheaven. And I have Capricorn rising and Scorpio sun. Really, how could I... I couldn't not have been a police investigator. I'm very glad I didn't go down that route, which I really did want to, really wanted to be in the military. There's all these things looking back. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know how I could have done it any differently. But I feel like there's a message. So my dad brought through, let me pause there. My dad brought through information he was saying, basically, I'm moving through life with more of his worldview than I thought. And it really is coloring my business. Can't catch a break. This is his stuff, his words. Can't catch a break. Life's unfair. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Got to get them before they get you. Pretty teetering on paranoid. This idea that he frequently would refer to, he works and works and works and works, and he never can catch a break. He never can get over the hump of it and relax, right? And I know I have those tendencies, and they're part of my self-pity, victim thinking, familiar bad feeling place. They didn't realize how much that was still present, and the clarity was, he was saying, that's mine, not yours. You've been carrying that. It doesn't belong to you. I'm going to take it back, and those kinds of things. This is why we need to be talking to our dead. I'm struggling. I can't quite hear that message from him. And she's able to bring it through. And now I've spent the last 48 hours processing that, and it's making connections, and it is like just jet fuel. All the connections, like, oh God, it's there, it's over here, it's influencing that, it's coloring that. I can see it playing out here. Gate 44 is my biggest part of my incarnation cross. I'm definitely like looking at patterns from the past. So I feel like we get a message that we shouldn't be fixers. We shouldn't be healers. We shouldn't be helpers. We should, I don't know, do something else more capitalistic. Common capitalistic. There's nothing wrong with true capitalism. Topic for a different day. And often I have not appreciated that side of me. Like, why do I have to always spot the errors? Why do I feel compelled to tell people, like, who are running into a brick wall, if you would move 2 inches to the left, you'd run right past that brick wall, and you'd stumble right into everything you're trying to get without asking first. That's a problem for a lot of people. I'm a projector. It's not just a human design. It's a human thing. To want to help, to spot potential. I spot potential. Oh man, I can't even tell you how many times I have gone wrong on that. Like, and so then I have these judgments. Like, why do I have la 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 la? I should stop myself. I don't even want to be a healer or helper. I'm just going to stop looking at that. It doesn't work because it's like a whole life path. But today when I was sitting with this, another piece of information clicked into place. And that's a podcast episode I listened to. I actually don't hardly ever listen to podcasts. But I did listen to someone that a friend of mine sent me about how all therapists, 98% or whatever, are really doing that deep hidden agenda thing of, if I can just help this person, I'll be okay. And we know that people end up in healing professions for a lot of reasons like that. Projection stuff. Like, I feel compelled to repeat this pattern until I can help someone else find resolution, or I can find resolution through helping someone else find resolution. So there's that hidden part that's always like, if I can just get this one person at their optimum, then I'll be okay. Yeah, it drives a lot of behavior. Codependency, don't even get me started. But then the tendency is you figure that out about yourself, and you're like, well, I'm just going to stop doing that. Well, you can't stop doing that. And it is a gift. But the difference is, the pivotal part is, if you're frustrated, if you're a healer, a psychic, a medium, whatever, a therapist, psychologist, whatever it is you're doing, if you're frustrated in the doing of it, the pivot point is you're working with the wrong people. It's not that you should stop being a healer. You should stop trying to help people, or that you should never get involved with someone based on their potential. It's fine to do that. You're designed to do that. You had certain experiences that give you gifts in this area. You don't have to feel bad about falling into codependent relationships or things like that. The only issue is who. It's not you, it's them. It's who you're trying to help, how you're trying to help. Trying to help improve others and get resources for other people and be a provider in multiple ways and help people have their best, really meet and exceed their potential. That is all good stuff. We run into trouble if we are traveling down a path that's trying to heal people who, at the heart of it, don't want to or are not yet ready to do the work that we're so well equipped to help them do. So when we're able to look at, how do I feel when I'm working with this client? We're going round and round and round, and we're coming at this problem from all different directions, but they just will not take the action. And then my tendency too, is sometimes to be like, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to say? Where in my approach to this am me? Yeah, not about me. I know I have the expertise. I know I show up 110% for every client call. And sometimes I'm attempting to run a process with a person who's not ready for it. Now, the difference is people who seek me out. This is consent-based and invitation-based, and the point of showing up as yourself constantly so that your people, the right people, can see you clearly in the sea of helpers. There's helpers everywhere. It is part of human nature to help each other. People who seek you out, they don't need your hand holding. They don't cost a lot of your energy because you're there in the appropriate role that you are designed to be: a healer, a fixer, a helper. And they're in the appropriate role of needing your insight, your guidance, your cheerleading, encouragement, your reflecting. Like, I often will interrupt people. I let them know that I'm going to interrupt them, but I'll say, okay, I've got it. I'm going to interrupt you now, and here's what's happening. Here's what it looks like from the outside. I feel this in my body. Are you feeling that also? 100% of the time, it's yes. I'm a feeler. So the only thing that ever goes wrong with that is if I'm with the wrong person for the wrong reasons. I spotted some problem out there in the world, started talking about it, develop a program for it because I want this person to not suffer. That's almost always energetically off. If I'm spotting a problem, often what I'm seeing, the people experiencing that problem don't know it's a problem. I'm seeing underneath it. I'm seeing the root of it, the core of it. But they're not anywhere near there yet. So, as helpers, healers, often predominantly women, we blame ourselves then. And it's not you, it's them. And the in between of your interactions between you and them. And the not waiting to assess and make sure that they're really ready for your help. And if you're really working hard to try and determine that, I'll tell you right now, they're not. Because when they are ready for your help, you're not working very hard. It's a saying in therapy land, if you're working harder than your client, there's a problem. If you're spending more time than they are trying to figure out the issue and help make lasting change, the majority of the effort needs to be on their side. They're the one going through the change. You're the one that's supposed to be guiding, observing, bringing your expertise and your wisdom to the table, doing all those things. But the energetic difference is night and day. I have been most exhausted by people who've come in, even when I was at a therapist, on a discounted rate at the lowest price, and there is energetic match with money, generally speaking. I've gotten discounts and I made the most of it. And there are a handful of people who have, that I've given payment plans to or discounts to, and they've just taken it and run with it. But a lot of people just don't. It's different. When you'll hear people say at the higher ticket offer price or whatever, your more concierge, white glove, bespoke kind of offers, that energetically you're working, you're not really working, right? It's never tiring. You're doing what you're naturally designed to do. So if this is you, I would love for you to spend some time reflecting on, if you're tired out by your clients and you're tired out by your marketing, how is that part yours? And who are you trying to market to? Who are you like, I need to help these people. I need to help this person. I need to solve this problem. Who is that, or what is that? If you solve that problem, what would it do for you? What would you then be able to do? Could you then say, okay, I can relax now? Or, yay, I did something. I achieved something. I feel like I'm not articulating this as well as I'd like to. I guess the bottom line is, if you're putting out offers and you're getting people and it's not going anywhere, it's a mismatch in between you and them. And it's nobody's fault. But the only way to fix it is to recognize it in ourselves and notice any hint of hidden agenda or mirrors in what kind of client, compared to your early caretakers. And notice, how would it feel to do your marketing completely what you believe, your point of view, your opinion, doing all the marketing things, but coming from a place of, I need you to see me as quickly as you can for who I am, what I believe, where I'm coming from, because it's going to save everybody a whole lot of time and energy if you can show up as yourself. Always. That's not to say there's mechanical things and some marketing things that we can do differently that make our message travel further. But the core of that has to be you thrilled with your abilities, proud of your insight and your wisdom and the things that you can do. Like, really proud of them. And really always showing up as yourself, talking about what you want to talk about. It's the only way that I know of that your people will come closer and you may not even know that they're there. This has happened to me lots of times. Someone will book a session or I'll get an email that's been following my work for years and only just now bought something or only just now let me know that they even exist. So again, it's like center and ground back in yourself. Figure out what matters to you. Talk about what you think about this problem that you see. Talk about the symptoms that people are suffering with that are rooted in this other problem. And don't worry about who is coming. The worst thing you can do is decide you want to help a particular person and try to get them in your chair or whatever. Like, that's definitely letting you know that there's a hidden agenda at work. And again, there's nothing wrong here. We're trying always, life is always trying to expand and find harmony and cohesion and unity. So these fragmented parts of us that have driven us down pathways that make us start to doubt ourselves or to try to not do the things we're really designed to do, that's all okay. When we bring awareness and consciousness and shine a light on what could be at work here. I've always tried to work with a certain type of person. I specialized in addictions. I specialized in trauma. I specialized in years of clients who were basically the same person. And I noticed over the last few years that clients are not that. They're not fitting that theme. People I've tried to work with who made no progress still have some of that. If you're showing up authentically you, some people are going to get results and some people are not going to get results. But that's not your stuff because you're providing the same thing to a group of people. Some people get it, some people don't get it. Some people are in alignment, some people are not, if we want to talk in those terms. So notice who you want to help. And do they want your help? Have they asked you for it? Do they understand that what's really tripping them up is what's really tripping them up? It's usually not what people come in the door talking about, wanting help with. We know this, right? Probably preaching to the choir here. So let me see if I can. I know I'm rambling all over the place. Work on your own intuitive skills. Psychicism, mediumship, whatever it is for you. Amplify that. It's a good thing. It will bring you the answers to things you're struggling with. If you're a healer type, who are you trying to heal and why? Who are you trying to help and why? If it's to feel good about yourself, there's nothing wrong. We all get a payoff from every behavior. Every behavior has a purpose, and there's a payoff in it. And secondary payoffs are hidden in them as well. So this is all just about awareness. And if your business is not working, I'm wondering if it's because of who you're trying to help and why. And it's not your skills. It's not we can all use more skills. It's not it's that the who and the how is off. And that's from a hidden agenda. For me, I've unwound all the personal stuff, and then here comes my dad saying, "Oh, the hidden agenda that's ruining things here is mine, actually." So if you want to just, become conscious of that and let that go, then things are going to flow much smoother for you. And I was like, "Oh, well, thanks." Now let me spend 2 days thinking about this. If you're addicted to the chemicals of chaos, it can be hard to move over to the people who will not be a struggle. There won't be a big dopamine hit if they do something on their treatment plan and become successful. It's quieter, it's softer. Definitely rambling. I probably just need to stop here. Okay, work on your skills. Go to some gallery readings and ask your dead to come tell you the things that we all have blind spots, right? We need each other. Ask your ancestors to bring that through for you. Notice where you're struggling in your business and notice if it's the who and the how. Who you're targeting. Who's your target market, and why are they your target market? And are there other people who you could really enjoy working with, but they're different? It might be different themes. It might be the same theme, but they're at a different place in their journey. What would it be like to only help people who seek you out, who respond to your marketing, and they are ready to go? They're checking in here and there with you. They're keeping their appointments. They're doing their homework. They're telling you if they don't like their homework, and y'all talk about it. And they're progressing. They're making tangible progress. What would that be like if you have the other? So who are you working with and how? What might be hidden? What might be hidden agendas? What might be secondary payoffs? What might be a reward for the struggle? But really get clear that it's not you doing anything wrong. It's not wrong for you to be a helper. It's not wrong for you to swoop everybody up and try to fix them and heal them. That's not wrong. Because when you're with the right people doing that, it is tremendous and it is powerful and it is effective as fuck. I mean, shit gets done when you bring all of that package to the right people, clear on the parts of you that, hold these agendas. And you may not ever get rid of them, but if you're aware of them, then they aren't running the show. Yeah? All right. I'm going to stop there. I hope this is actually helpful. I really feel like I was way all over the page for you guys today, but there you go. If it gets more clear, I'll come back and do another episode. And hopefully I summarized it at the end would give it a little more clarity. And you know what? I never re-record. But this is the second recording of this because 11 minutes into the first one, I had a coughing fit. I had to turn the recording off and it took me like 5 minutes. So there's still stuff moving through. Oh, sorry about that noise. Opening the sliding door. Still stuff moving through for me as well. So thanks for coming along on my journey, letting me talk things out with you. And I'll talk to you next time. And in the meantime, think less, feel more. Bye for now.